If someone were to design a system that was intentionally set up to push students out of school, to set up hurdles and obstacles and all types of traps and pitfalls so that they wouldn't finish college well educated, so that they wouldn't even get to college in the first place, they would design the school to prison pipeline.
The combination of policies and practices that push kids out of school, arresting them for misbehavior, suspending them at the drop of a hat, are what we call the school to prison pipeline. And we call it that because we know, and it's documented statistically in New York and around the nation, that when kids are pushed out of school, the likelihood that they will land up in jail is significantly increased.
In California alone, we have built 20 prisons in the last 20 years and only one university. In California, we spend about $50,000 on incarceration per inmate and less than $8,000 for college students. We are number 1 in the nation in incarceration and number 43 when it comes to educating our children.
Nationwide, African American students are over 3.5 times more likely to be suspended out of school than their white peers. And research shows that even when they engage in the same behavior and the same conduct as white students, that they're typically treated, or quite often rather, treated more harshly. So we know that it's not so much the student behavior that's changing, it's adult responses to that behavior. And those responses often occur through a racialized lens.
I got kicked out at the age of 16. With that, everyone else around me gave up on me, so I found myself homeless. At the age of 16, I had to survive. Found myself in the streets. At the age of 18, I found myself locked up in LA County Jail. When I got out, I knew that wasn't the place for me. I knew, because education was where my heart was. I love to learn every day.
Our current, prison system, incarceration, is really organized around this idea of incapacitation, which is really just about removing somebody from a place and not changing anything about what the situation was, what the environment was, or even that person.
Where are our priorities at? Where are we giving back to the youth? Where are we looking out for the safety? Where are we looking out for to better people and not to lock them up? We're not animals. We're the next generation.
So this whole notion of zero tolerance gives this illusion of safety, this illusion of order, this illusion that this is what we need to keep kids safe, to keep communities safe even.
What's really exciting at this moment is that nationally, in Louisiana, in Colorado, in New York City, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, in Chicago, in Detroit, local school communities and young people, parents, educators, and administrators are coming together to say that zero tolerance doesn't work and experimenting with these alternative practices to addressing interpersonal harm and building justice for communities.
Restorative justice isn't a program, it's really a theory, a philosophy, a different approach to justice. It invites us to completely shift the way that we think about and do justice and the way that we respond to wrongdoing.
The whole concept of restorative justice is like really trying to restore something that's lost. So if me and you are in an altercation, then we would, just look at how what we did really impacted the community.
The starting point is that you're in a community and it should be treated like a community. And that when something happens in that community that breaks down, or something goes wrong in that community, that there should be an opportunity for that to be restored.
When that happens, I think in its best process, that includes administration, that includes teachers, that includes students, it includes parents, it includes, if there's a school police officer, it includes them, because then it makes everybody have to be part of that process of the conflict or of the harm of whatever's happened. It's also about saying that we can't throw anybody away.
I was one of them students when I first came in that was, I guess, messing with the balance of the culture of YJC. And instead of getting kicked out, instead of getting punished or whatnot, it was always, we sat down and had a conversation about why was I doing it. It wasn't me being criminalized, it wasn't me being pushed away, it was finding the root, the cause of why I was doing it. and me making right by the people that I harmed. So that's what I love about restorative justice.
Restorative justice has the potential to really help move us from an ethic of domination and separation and competition to an ethic of collaboration and inclusivity and interrelatedness. I think it's profoundly radical.